We are Kim and Lee, and we are embarking on an interesting journey. And we're selling our home with no real fixed plans. We've got some ideas, which include
things like community living or intentional living. It's an option. Getting a van, dropping into van life, or perhaps something like woofing, like workaways, working on people's lands in exchange for accommodation or food or similar.
Okay. Or a mixture of all of them, I guess.
Yes, yeah. Who knows? Yeah, we're kind of putting things out there to the universe and letting the universe decide.
We're planning to document all of our journey here, which is fast evolving and changing, feels like by the day at the moment.
And there's a few future videos already in the pipeline, including where we've looked at some intentional living communities. And there might be a video coming up about a van soon, perhaps.
More on that in a minute.
Yeah. We put our house on the market at the end of April. It's a 3-bed semi in North Somerset, and it sold within a week, which is pretty good going.
To the second viewers.
Yeah, to the second viewers, which was also pretty good going. But the thing was that they had to sell their house.
So they had to get their house valued, photographed, on the market and sold. And we gave them like a 4-week grace period to do that. And they achieved it in 2 weeks.
Yeah. And they sold it to a cash buyer. So that means there's no chain. We've got no chain in this at all.
A tiddly chain.
Yeah, small chain. And their cash buyer wants to complete in 8 to 10 weeks, which makes it potentially a really quick process.
Well, that'll be early July because we're in May. And we were expecting, in all honesty, still be in the house come September. So This is a bit faster than we were anticipating.
Based on our experience when we bought, because it took 4 months for the whole process. So yeah, seemed like it might be quite speedy. Yeah, it's quite a scary thing, but also like I love working under pressure, so it gives me time to work too. We'd always said that we would let the universe decide the course for this. Just trusting the process, really, trusting fate. But I don't think we trusted fate, or we expected fate to have this kind of time scale and to be this quick.
Universe, why are you pushing us so fast?
Yeah, what's it trying to make happen? That's what we want to know. Let's see how it goes. Let's see how the path works out and how we cope under pressure.
We promised during the sale of the property that we wouldn't hold up the sale of the property. So we therefore need to find a solution in 8 to 10 weeks because that's when it might happen by. So with that in mind, getting a van is probably the immediate priority.
Yeah. And also because when we've got a van, we can then go off and explore intentional communities and be a bit more leisurely about it. Whereas we were, based on the fact we thought we might be leaving in September, we were trying to cram in visiting lots of communities in that short space of time. So short-term period, get a van. It may become a longer-term period. I noticed for a lot of people, they think they're going into a van for a short time and it turns into a longer...
couple of years.
Yeah, a couple of years.
It's probably worth also mentioning we've already been to 2 communal living places, which there will be videos in due course on. And we do have some more booked in. But we have actually cancelled one because we realised we just need to focus ourselves at the moment.
Yeah, we need to get the van in order, sort that, and then we can look at next steps. And we've got a whole house to pack up and sell most of our belongings as well.
So this week we spent most days and nights looking at vans for sale, trying to look around about a £10,000 mark, but kind of needing to have a shower and a toilet and a kitchen area
And a
like
fixed bed. Yeah.
bed. So yeah, definitely. And there weren't that many about actually. As we haven't got much to do, we thought we'd like get even busier. And this week, loads of solicitors' documents have been coming in. We've already filled out 4 documents, and we're not talking the odd 1 or 2 pages. We're talking like 16, 18-page documents. And there's lots more to come as well. And all the identification and conversations and the house surveys, all that stuff that's going to probably have to happen. All good fun.
Yeah, and we're starting to sell stuff. Got a few bits and bobs on Facebook Marketplace and Gumtree and that kind of thing, or Vinted. But the problem we've got, the dilemma we've got, is because we're still not 100% certain where we're going next. Like, we know we might be in a van, but there also might be a communal living opportunity that comes up. So we might need to keep some furniture and crockery and pots and pans and things. So it's weighing up that mix of what do we sell, what do we keep, what do we put in storage? Because that's the other thing I've done. And please tell me, is this a thing? So I've contacted storage companies, and I think I've had 13 missed calls from storage companies because I just wanted quotes. And like every day I'm getting a call from a storage company. Like, I just wanted to know how much it was. Is this, yeah. Anyone else had that? Is that how it is?
And actually, another question. If you were selling up with no future destination, would you get rid of everything and have nothing? Or would you keep furniture, or on the off chance you might need it? Let us know.
Yeah, because the dilemma I've got is I'm trying to think about consumerism and being eco-aware. And what I don't want to do is sell things that I'm then going to have to buy again. Like, even if we were to buy them secondhand again, I'd rather keep things if I think they're going to be useful, but we can't keep everything. And like, we don't want to be spending out a huge amount of storage. So it's actually quite one of the trickiest parts, I think, of navigating this.
One of the other things we've done is post out on our Facebook pages, basically tapping into the hive mind to see if there's any places or solutions or ideas that they've got that we've missed or don't know of. And we've had some pretty good responses so far.
Yeah, because I always feel it's not what you know, it's who you know. And that the posts have kind of proven that, because people have reached out to us with leads and ideas and thoughts, and there is stuff that we haven't explored. I mean, there's bound to be, isn't there? If you put everyone's minds together, there's bound to be more stuff. So that's been really useful.
A kind of complete aside to the whole journey that we've been talking about, does anyone experience this? Is anyone in a couple where you say something and the other person is literally thinking the same thing at the same time and have no reason to be thinking that thing that you were thinking at the same moment?
Yeah, like they're mind reading, or like their minds are in tune, because we do it all the time.
Like, probably daily, sometimes more. We've had it 3 times, I think, already today.
On this walk, or yeah.
Twice on this walk, 1 earlier. And I just wondered if anyone else has that.
There's been some really profound ones where sometimes you can work out why the other person might be, why you're both thinking that at the same time, because a series of events chain of events might lead to that. But there's been times where there would be absolutely no reason why we would both happen to be thinking that at the same time.
So the best one I can remember is when we were in Iceland.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it was it the next day or late the same day?
So I'm going to tell it.
Okay.
So we'd stayed at a cabin in the woods, and it was a big, long journey afterwards, going right along the top sort of north coast of Iceland, about 6-7 hour journey. And we were at least 3 hours into this journey, and we talked about all sorts of stuff. And then I started thinking to myself, trying to remember if I'd written in the guest book of the
cabin.
The cabin, just trying to think what I'd put and if I had written in it, because that's something we like to do. And out of nowhere, just as I was thinking that, Lee goes, "Did you leave a message in the guest book?" We hadn't just been talking about the cabin. There was nothing we'd been talking about that
Connected it.
It was completely random, but exactly at the moment. And the thing is, there's no way to prove that I was thinking this. It's just each other's word, but it happens so often.
So does anyone else experience that? Because I am keen to know, because I've never experienced it with anyone before. On top of all the other things we're thinking about, and this is probably one of the biggest things.
Yeah, because we haven't got much to think about, really.
Is our employment. So, for those who haven't watched previous videos, I left the corporate world in February last year. And since then, I've been doing handymanning locally, pretty much across North Somerset. And created really good customer base, lots of repeat custom. I'm booked up to the end of June, and we're talking this mid-May at the moment. And I've had to put my prices up to try and cope with the cost of living. And customers have had no issues with that. And yeah, keep coming back. So dilemmas include, if we move somewhere else, do I need to start my whole customer base again? Do we keep my van full of tools that I use for the job? And how does that work if we're van lifing? Can't both drive around separate vans. That's a little bit mad. So yeah, where do I store my tools day to day? Like in the van? Is it in a garage? Is it in a locker? Is it somewhere in the van we may be buying? Who knows? And obviously whether you're accepted in a new place, because it took time to build up my customer base that I've got. And yeah, a little bit of nervous and trepidation about it, I guess.
Yeah, and I guess there's a thing about like finishing off the jobs and the work you're doing for customers at the moment. Like, when do you stop accepting work? Trying to time that just right as well. Then I've got my business, so I'm a mindfulness teacher and a wellbeing coach. I do have a day job as well. I work for a mental health charity, so that's going to continue. Nothing will change about my day job. So fortunately, we've got one thing that's stable. For my business, again, it's taken a long while to build up my customer base. It's been much easier for Lee to build his customer base, but there's a big demand for handyman, and people don't seem to mind spending money on that. But when it comes to their own well-being and mental health, I think people are financially stretched, and their own well-being can often be the lowest priority. So it's taken quite a while for me to get to where I am. So I could continue locally if we stay here and just hire a venue. I could go online, or if we move somewhere else, I'm going to have to start my whole community building again and my community base again. So yes. And also for me, it's knowing how, when I use other spaces at the moment, like how far ahead can I book those spaces and continue running workshops there. So it's a bit of things to navigate.
And it's probably worth saying for people who don't know, we'd have a studio in our current property where we run workshops from, or Kim particularly runs workshops from, and we're obviously losing that. And one of the sad things about losing that is lots of people love coming to that space. It's like a little oasis. And it doesn't cost anything to use it, in the sense that if you go somewhere else, you need to hire.
Yeah, and I have to pay to hire it.
Okay.
So did you want to talk about our community interest company?
Yeah, so again, for those who don't know, we also run a community interest company because we're not doing anything else. So we launched a community interest company 2 years ago now, and it's focused massively on well-being, community connection, kind of mental well-being, physical well-being, all of that kind of stuff, and particularly in nature where possible. And we run quite a lot of workshops, which have included reef making workshops,
DIY skills for women.
Walks, Connect Free walks, which have been across North Somerset for coming up to a year and a half now.
Yeah, that's our core project, really. We've done menopause workshops, we've done communication workshops.
And I run a men's cave, which is just a place for men to come and be themselves, which has been received really well. But the problem we have is...
Well, again, this is the whole... We don't know where we're going to be, and kind of most of our offerings at the moment are locally based and in our local community, and we don't know where that community is going to be. So it feels like for that, we've had a directors meeting recently, and we feel like when the move happens, we're going to pause until we're more stable, and then look at restarting once we've got an idea. Because it might be that we reform the CIC and it becomes more national offering where we can travel to places or to festivals, and do things in that way. So the projects aren't necessarily tied geographically.
There's a bit of sadness because we know we've made a difference to people's well-being locally, and we've already had multiple people say that they'll miss us when we move on,
And we'll miss them.
and we'll miss them definitely, because it fills my heart to know that we've improved people's well-being.
Yeah, and we've made some really good friends and connections through it as well. You know, it's been really supportive to us. And that is what Mudita is about. So our CIC is called Mudita Salis, and Mudita is the joy in the well-being of others.
And I love seeing that. The
one thing that we're being taught by this journey and by life, and it's a motto and it's a tattoo I have on my arm, and that is, you're exactly where you're meant to be.
And trust the process.
And yeah, who knows where this journey will take us, but it will be the right place. And if you want to follow us on our journey and see what we're up to and learn more, don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button.
And press the bell.